last week on Brago 24/7. They're not hurting anybody. Yes, you probably wouldn't have let the dog lick the baby, but who cares? Did the dog eat the baby? Like, that would be a serious thing. But, it's just people are just so freaking judgmental. And listen, I'm one of those who is very aware of others, and I may be perceived as being judgmental or cautious, whatever words, but these people are like, for me, judgment is like when you're really getting into someone's character and being of everything they do, and you just go in and just tear it all apart. To me, that's judgment. Mm-hmm. I can have my opinions, and it's just like, that doesn't affect me. So it's like, whatever, I feel this about that person, but I'm going to keep it moving. Like, there's no reason to like keep going. But like, judgment is like when you can't let it go. And it's like, what is it inside of you that just can't let it go, or it has to actually put it on in writing to someone that you don't even flipping know?
So you know what I think it is?
What is it? Please. Hi, I am your host, Lyanette Talley, and you are listening to Brago 24/7. Brago is Latin for female warrior, and 24/7 is for all day, every day. Brago 24/7 is a weekly podcast that brings diverse women together to talk about life and our experiences in this world. We share our views on self-love, mental health, marriage, children, friendships, and really anything that needs to be talked about. Here, you will find everyday growth, everyday healing with everyday warriors. Just give me my space to move. It's my thoughts, what I want, and I want what I
want. What I think when people spend so much time judging someone else and giving them a hard time, either about how they're living their life, I think it's a way for them to escape their own stuff. Like, when you put emphasis on someone else's life and how they're living it, you're taking away from how you are living your life and how you are. And I feel like it's a way of kind of avoiding the stuff you need to work on yourself.
It has to be. So all of these people.
Why are you just putting all that attention on someone else? Like,
exactly.
We are all a work in progress. There's no way I parent perfectly, that I'm a perfect partner, I'm a perfect friend. There is always room for like growth and learning. So I that's what I see. I think that anytime someone takes the time and effort to tear any other person down or give a comment that's not productive, I think it's just a way of like avoiding what you have to do.
That's the answer that I always hear. It's like, oh, it's a them thing. They're probably insecure. So you're telling me that there's no one who has their stuff together, who's making mountains move, who really just has goals and like they're tackling them. They never comment? Or is it these are all just like assholes that aren't self-aware? I'm just wondering.
I guess the thing is, I think, I don't have everything conquered, and I don't comment.
I don't either.
The reason I think that is, you do you.
Yeah.
I'll do me.
Yeah.
Like, and I really do believe that. Like, whenever I hear any kind of judgmental talk, because people aren't always aware of like their opinion may hurt someone's feelings, and they just don't know any better. Like, it's people don't know how what their words, that it can affect somebody.
Well, there's a lot of people that don't know any better out in this world, and that's scary.
I know, which is why we're trying to
scary.
We're trying to surround ourselves with like-minded people.
Yes.
Yeah. So it is hurtful. I was telling a friend, like, one of the things is I'm aware that I don't have thick skin, and it would be one of the things is like in the future, if I decide to go any event business ventures or any plans of putting myself out there in any way, one of my biggest fears is really like reviews and comments and all that. Yeah. And it, because I know that even though I know all the right things to tell myself, I know it's not about me, it's about them, I still will get my feelings hurt because, I'm not there yet. That is definitely
I'm right there.
I'm not there.
I agree with you, Shiney, because like even starting this podcast, first of all, I'm not even on a level to get any kind of like big reviews or anything. So I'm not there yet. But I'm like, okay, what if I get to a point with this podcast where it starts spreading and people are listening and have their opinions and write reviews? Am I ready for that? And I don't know if I'm 100% ready. I don't know because I'm not there yet, but I think God has prepared me. I don't have, my skin is not super thick, but it's thick enough that I'm like, I can probably withstand some of it. Mm-hmm. Probably 10 years ago, hell no. Mm-hmm. My little feelings would have gotten so hurt because I come across very like hard, and I am, and strong, and I am. But everyone has that sensitive side where they don't want to feel rejected or be told that you're not doing something correctly. So in starting this, I was ready for that kind of criticism. So I'm just waiting, but I only have like 10 listeners. I have like 10 listeners, like loyal listeners, and they all love me. But for those who happen to hear me in the future who are just like, this chick sucks, I'm actually, I think I've told you this. I'm kind of excited for that because that means like people are actually listening and they give a shit.
They actually say that in show business.
Even if it's like negative.
When you start getting like haters too, you know that like you're popular.
Yeah, we should throw a party. If I get any negative feedback in the future on my, because I think you can only write reviews on Apple. I don't know. That's the only reviews that I see is through the Apple app, podcast app. So if we see any of those, I want to get a bottle of champagne and we're going to toast and we're going to be like, yes, Virago 24/7 is going places.
You know what? You have a really valid point. If someone takes the effort and time and energy to go and sit down and write and type this up and write this out, you're right. Yeah. That is a fan.
Yeah.
Even though they may not.
That means you listened.
That they listened. Yeah. That they cared about it. Cared enough to write it. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. You're so right. I guess that's. I think I'm in a better place to receive, that negativity, because honestly, I have had a lifetime of I know that I'm very strong. Mm-hmm. I come off the opposite of you. I come off very soft and gushy and mushy, and I am, but I am very resilient. And that is actually my word of the year.
Resilient.
Because I know that every time I have been kicked down or put down or even put myself down on the floor, I can get back up and move forward. Yeah. So I can handle it too. I know that I'm trying not to be an overthinker where you think why this happened or that happened. And I don't do that. I can't even honestly think of when I did that last. I've started, one of the reasons that I'm really big on people journaling is that helps with that. Mm-hmm. You writing down these are my thoughts or feelings on this and why I think that person said that and why I write the whole thing out. And it may seem
it's tedious. Therapeutic. I do the same thing.
It may seem tedious, but I really feel after I've closed that book that I'm done.
Yes,
it's over.
You've let it out.
I've let it out. I've made reasons, and I've even actually made sense and given grace to the person who even said it to me. Mm-hmm. So, so if you have never journaled before, try it. Mm-hmm. Because, even if you have something really ugly or horrible to say to somebody and you write it down, you feel as if you've said it.
Yes. That's interesting that you say that because I used to journal and have a diary when I was younger and I wrote down like feelings. Now when I journal, it's more of like quotes or scriptures, or I'll read a book and it'll ask a question. So I'm like, okay, let me answer this truthfully. But there have been some things that it's like, this is what I'm feeling. And so I did this. I'm going to be very honest right now. So I went to Tybee in November. And I did a few podcasts talking about how I like to hibernate. And that's when I really started thinking about things. And I've been holding on to stuff. It's like, I feel like I can forgive, but I have a hard time actually letting go, like truly letting go where I'm like free of it. And I don't know why. Like, I love Philip so much and I know he adores me, but I've always said I don't trust anyone 100%, including him, period. Because I think it's just a coping mechanism. Like, if he hurts me, well, then I didn't trust you anyways, type thing. And so there were some things that I was holding on to that he's done. And I saw it as a pattern. He likes to hold on to female friendships and he thought it was okay. And I'm like, he has a lot of female friendships that I don't give a shit about. I'm like, I know it's just a friendship. I'm not even like insecure, not one bit, but there's certain ones that he's had where I'm like, that's kind of crossing boundaries. So I don't know what kind of fire was lit under my ass, but I started, I don't know what was going on around my birthday, but I needed to let this go. So I wrote, like, it's like multiple pages. And I went to Tybee first. So it was me and Corinne, and then him and Khalil came a few days later. So I had time to think and I was like writing. And I'm like, if I write this down, I'm going to feel so much better about just letting it out instead of it being in my head. And then poor him. I don't know why he sticks with me, but I was like, read what I wrote because I can't put it into words why I still hold on to this. But this is a pattern, and I just want to make sure that this pattern doesn't continue in the future. And it hasn't happened in years, but just this pattern of, like, he's never cheated. I'm not talking about cheating or anything, but just him being so defined, like, this is my friend and we're friends, and having a hard time letting go, and then eventually lets go. And then I feel like the bitch or the bad person for making him give up that friendship type thing, right? So I wrote all these scenarios out with the names of the people, and it puts me in a shitty mood, which, like, he knows, like, why are you being shitty? So he read it, right? This was November. He read it. He's like, I know these things that I was immature, and like we had this whole conversation. Girl, like, when I say I feel so much better, even though him and I have like talked about this ad nauseum, I think writing it down, him reading it, which most people shouldn't say, hey, read it. But him and I are so close that I knew that it's okay. It's a safe space. Read the shit that I just wrote so I can get finally over this, right? So come December, we went to Florida and we had such a nice time. It was like a dental conference. And I just turned to him and literally I was like, I finally have released this and I trust him 100%. Like, I can't any longer like hold on to this stuff. That's in the past. Like, why am I still bringing it into the future and like making something of it that's not there? But if you don't release it, like it stays in your head, right? And I turned to him and I'm like, I trust you 100%. And that's the first time I've ever said that. And the whole time I've ever known him. And you and I had a dinner at a friend's house and she likes to give, like topics to talk about. Yeah. And that was one of the things. It was like something to be happy, like that made you so happy or something was the question. And that was like, I didn't know how much joy that brought him, but he brought that up. He's like, Lyanette for the first time said that I trust her 100%. And it might sound minor to you listening, but like writing it down was so powerful for me because I've never done that before. I just kept it in my little head and ruminated. And yes, I forgive. And yeah, I don't bring it up because that's shitty for me to bring it up to you all the time and throw it in your face. But I'm holding on to that crap, like as a coping mechanism, because if this happens again, I can bring out all the exhibit A, B, C, and D, like, see, there's a pattern. And just learning to just let it go has been so powerful, and just writing it down. And there's things that I've written down that it's only between me and the journal where I go back and read it. And it's like, okay, we've overcome that. How awesome. Like, I can let that go because this is a thing that's been overcome. So journaling, I'm glad you bring it up, is super powerful, and kind of releasing
Yes.
what is on your mind.
Yes.
Because damn, as humans, we love to ruminate on some shit, don't we?
Yes. And what you were saying, like holding on to it, we do that. And sometimes we don't even recognize the depth of how long it's been, what it's doing to us, what it's doing to our relationships. So, and I used to write, I used to write notes to my friends when I was when I was young, but I wasn't a writer. And I remember it was brought up in therapy, and the therapist had suggested this about 10 years ago. He had suggested that things that I wanted to say that I just haven't been able to. And then if I needed to burn it, if it was like horrible, like burn it or throw it away, I could. Mm-hmm. And that's what got me started.
Have you burned anything?
No, I actually,
because I feel like I want to burn these pages. Because the other day I was looking, I was like, oh, this is still in there. I mean, it's only been since November. I'm like, I need to get rid of this because I don't want to even go back and read it.
So I haven't.
Okay.
But
let's do it. Let's have a burning ceremony.
But I think that's totally fine too.
Yeah.
So for me, I have two types of journals.
Okay.
One is everything, like you said, it's like any, thoughts, quotes, inspiration, if I needed to talk something out. And then I have another journal that is just a dream journal. Mm-hmm. And it's dreams, hopes, aspirations for myself. It's actually, really just more about me, things that I want. And I used to always tell myself, because I struggle, I feel like English and writing and literature, I always struggled in those subjects when I was in school, and I was more of a science person. But I would say through homeschool and having kids that are reading a lot and my youngest wanting to be a writer, it's actually pushed me more into writing too. And not only was it therapeutic, but it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Like to have sometimes when you read back some of the thoughts that you have. Yeah. I actually find it really beautiful that I was able to express myself in that way.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I was going to say, like, I have made that suggestion to people, and most of the time someone who's not into that, they'll say, no, I'm not really into that or whatever. I would say, it's not something you have to do every day where you have to say, dear diary, mm-hmm. this is what happened today.
Exactly.
It's really just whenever you feel like it. Yeah. And it could be anything. Like I just said, I just made up my own dream diary. Mm-hmm. Like I just made that up. That's just something that I made up. It could be really anything. It could be your vent diary. Mm-hmm. It could be anything you want. It could be lists of things you want to do. It could be regrets. It could be resentments. It could be anger. It could be happy things. Yeah. So I think
it can be all of it. Yeah. I have stuff that I go back and read, and it's like happy stuff. Like, oh, I feel so good today. The rain is not like it's raining outside and I'm in my cozy home. Like little things like that. I'm so thankful. Like I feel so at peace right now. And then I rant about the past and then have my husband read it. That's horrible.
No, when you said that,
I can't believe he's still married to me.
I've actually read some stuff out loud. I've read like one or two things out loud to Gio, and I've also read some things to my best friend. Because it is a very trusted place, right? Is. Like a very like safe space. But and I've even written a poem, and I would have never thought that I was capable. Yeah. So I think it's helped me to help continue believing in myself. Mm-hmm. So it's honestly another thing that's just for you. Yes. And I think I'm really big on that right now is us as women. And I think we were talking about earlier, like gossiping and how, having like-minded friends, things like that. And I think where I'm at is I'm in a place where I only want to surround myself with those that we lift each other up. Mm-hmm. We support each other. Whatever we're going through, that we want the best for each other. Mm-hmm. And I think that as women, regardless of race, if we can all do that for each other, like how beautiful would that be? Yeah. Yeah. And it is so powerful when you do find your tribe and your people.
I think that's why that's part of my healing process, is being around women that really are rooting for me, that are really like excited for my accomplishments, that are really just want the best. And that is empowering to be like, man, I found these people, they found me. And I don't know, there's just something like special. And so if you don't have that, if you have like friendships that are just like drama and you don't feel good about yourself, those aren't real friends. Like, you need to reevaluate and kind of look around and see, yes, I call them my friends, but are they true friends? Because if you walk away feeling shitty about yourself, then you need to reevaluate those friendships, because it doesn't have to be that way.
And I was going to say, that's the first thing to have some insight on if these people are my people is, how do you feel when you leave them?
Yeah.
Do you feel lifted up and encouraged and supported? Or are you feeling bad about yourself?
Yeah. And I've had to distance myself from those kind of people. Like, I don't feel good. That didn't make me feel good. And not that every encounter has to be like this amazing encounter, but if it's like all the time, if it's more negative than positive, and then why am I keeping this person around? Like, why are they even in my space?
And also looking in ourselves is also like, I think that's one of the things I had to do, was I continuously was attracting narcissistic type of women, and takers, and people who were really controlling. And I had to look inside, like, why? Because why do I have the same, I could write 4 different names, but they were exactly the same in what they did in my life. And I knew that it was me too. Yeah. It was me giving the permission to do all these things. And also me, like I said before, we teach people how to treat us. And I was teaching people to treat me like the doormat that I was. I think now I feel like it's so interesting how when we really work on ourselves inside, how that resonates, because people can feel it. Because I truly feel now that when I go out to places and I'm somewhere, anywhere, that I've always been a smiley person. I mean, I always have, but I really feel that someone can actually feel that the smile is not only genuine, but that I want to attract their goodness and they want to attract my goodness, and we want to just keep passing it along. Because that's what I want, because I feel like I've been through a tumultuous 2020 and honestly, generally the last 10 years has had, it's been rocky. It's ebbs and flows, but I want things now, because I feel like my mindset has completely changed, is that I want it to just always move forward. Yeah. Because I think the thing that I was lacking was obviously I wasn't aware of a lot of things, but now that I am, that I live every single day with the intention to be kind and caring and loving towards all people. And that if I do receive anything that's not nice, that I'm also like aware of it and I see it. Because I think what I used to do is make up all these excuses. I remember it. There are so many relationships that the red flag would come right in and I would make up an excuse. I would right away make up an excuse like, you know what, that person doesn't have a lot of friends, or that person really needs me for this. And it was all me. It was, I needed to feel needed. I was relating them to, you know what, it's okay. I'm used to being treated this way, and I just made up all kinds of excuses. So, I think now I'm finally in a place where, I am friendly to all, but only friends with a smaller group of people, who know I'm their friend too.
That's a good way of wording it, is like, I mean, I'm not going to be a bitch to everybody, but And I'll be nice to you, but I'll be cautious and aware of, are you going to become a friend or not? Yeah. Can we go back to when you said tough skin that you haven't? Because I want to know.
Thick skin.
Yeah, thick skin. What is it that you want to do if you had thick skin, if you didn't care about reviews and people's opinions? I feel like you wanted to share.
Okay, so this is very new, but I left work many years ago, and that was a choice I made because of my son wasn't doing so well in the beginning, and life was really hard, and I chose to. And we lived very humbly. We were a one-car family. We made it work. But a lot of people have given me a hard time over the years. So many people have given me a hard time because people would say, like, why is a educated person, staying home? And the truth is I wouldn't say anything, but really my thought was it was an educated decision that I made for myself. And honestly, it's none of your business.
Yeah. It's like maybe they see it as like, oh, what a waste of
oh yes, and they've said that too.
Yeah,
people feel
brains and talents.
People feel very comfortable to tell me exactly why too, like oh, the years of school or this or that. But ultimately, again, it was my decision. And honestly, people just also don't know. They don't know the life I had before Atlanta, like the way I grew up and how everything was always decided for me, and everything I've accomplished in my life wasn't necessarily my dreams.
Yeah.
So I think that's a number one reason why I parent in a way where I want to just encourage my kids. I remember a neighbor asked me, like, how do you get your kid to practice piano all the time? I said, you know what? They didn't for years. I would say Gavin did not practice in the beginning because I didn't force it, because I learned at a really early age. I talked to a music teacher about how do you encourage your kids to get into music, because I really loved music. So I knew I love music, and I could tell my kids did too. So she just said it has to be their decision. Mm-hmm. So now Gavin plays every day, and I don't, and it's not because he
wanted to.
Because he wanted to.
Yeah.
So that actually was great advice that I got. And I was raised completely different in a way where, there was, I was forced to do a lot of things. And again, I give my parents grace because they were only wanting the best for me. They wanted a very well-rounded kid who did, all different things. Mm-hmm. So going back to, so I've been a stay-at-home mom, and I, for years now. And, I told you a lot of people gave me tons of opinions and advice over the years. Finally, people stopped because I think I was slowly starting to tell people,
back it up.
Yes.
To back off.
Yeah. Like, can you just get
off my jock.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And those who weren't, like those who are judgmental and they say things, we automatically don't become friends. And I'm not saying, actually, I would say that I have a few stay-at-home mom friends, but I would say majority actually work. Mm-hmm. So that means that they don't have a problem because they realize that they're working and that's their choice, and I'm not, and that's my choice. So it really wasn't like a working mom versus a non-working mom thing, because I have zero to say. Like my mom worked all the time, and I love and respect her, and I think it's great. But staying at home for me was a decision that I made for myself. So where I am is that I have decided that I would like to go back into the work world. Mm-hmm. And I actually expressed this to my husband. He first he was the first person I told, because I said that I wanted his support, because I think my fear around that was people your family gets used to you in this position.
Yes, they do.
So I needed to make sure that that's something that he would support me in, and he said that he would. And I'm not ready yet to say everything, but I would like to just say that we're never too old to like
thank you
to like start something or do something or learn
I'm glad you're saying that,
or taking like go back to school or change career paths. Like I feel like I think that's the one thing that I've been thinking about so much is life is precious, it's short, and make the best of it. So I think and I've never really believed in myself for a long time. So that's my journey right now is taking time for myself, doing things for myself, and believing in myself, because many people have asked me over the years, like, oh, I'll pay you, for you to have food out, or, my chai that I make and, and I've always said no, because there was something in my mind that'd be like, oh, I don't know if my stuff is good enough for like,
I can relate
money,
to that. Yeah.
Money and being scared. So,
and especially like you said, like there's never an age to be like, I can't start over. So I made the same decision too, to stay home. And when you've, gone to college and you feel like you're an educated woman and that you had all these ambitions at one point in time, and then you decide to stay home, it is a hard decision, especially if you're like, driven in that way where I wanted to be a career woman. And I don't know about you, there's some women that their whole purpose in life was to stay home. And that's wonderful. That was not my plan, but, I decided to stay home. So then you get so comfortable in that position too, because you've been doing it for so many years that it's scary to venture out. Like you forget that that's who you were at one point in time. Like you could conquer the world at one point in time. But then when you become a stay-at-home mom, you get so used to that role. Like, okay, I've accepted it. This is my decision. And now we're in it. And now I've become comfortable in this role that I can't see coming out of it. And that is very scary. And I've been there and thinking, oh, it's too late. It's too late. I'm 40 something years old. There's no way like I can do anything, but I'm learning that I can. Like, yes, we're not like all like,
yes. And I
crotchety old ladies.
So I like you, I had a career before marriage, and I had saved a lot, and I had saved money, and I was very responsible, and things were going really well. And then I made the decision to stay at home, and I have to say I didn't have any regrets about that either. And I think that that's how I want to live my life anyways. Yeah. I mean, I don't like having regrets. Like when I was saying, I want a better relationship, like that's something we can still rectify.
Yeah.
And I want to live life like being happy and joyful and just always getting better. And so I'm now at a point where I remember because I've been a stay-at-home mom for some time now. I remember even saying I didn't want to go back to work. There was a time where I was like, you know what? I could do this forever.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
Like, I got the kids. I got this. I got that. So I'm excited that I want this for myself.
I'm excited for you. That's why I wanted to roll back to that, because I'm like, wait a minute. We just kind of glided over that one.
Well, I think the reason I'm keeping this close to my heart now is I need to like decide, because I'm kind of like narrowing down what it is I want for myself, and I'm really excited because I want to be brave and courageous and believe in myself that I can do it. So I'm a little, obviously I'm a little scared, but which is what I was saying about the whole review thing, like. I need to also prepare myself that is the world I'm in now. So I was telling friends that when I left the work world, that didn't exist.
No,
that didn't exist. And how thankful I was of like, oh, I'm glad I didn't have that. So I need to just go in, with my eyes open that is the world we're in now. And to, like that book, if you haven't read The Four Agreements, which
I know. I've been pushing that book.
A fabulous book.
It is.
But that, all of that, like don't make, assumptions and,
take things personal.
Don't take things personally and
do your best, Shiney.
Do my best and be impeccable with your word. Like I like that.
Yes.
I like all of that. So,
it is scary. It is scary to do something new. And I'm telling myself, I cannot please everyone. I think we just want everyone just to love us. And we're all so different and our backgrounds are so different and we're made up so differently that we're just not going to love each person that we come in contact with. And I think I am fabulous and amazing, but not everyone is going to look at me and listen to the podcast and see whatever. I feel like there's so much more to Virago for the future that I don't even know what's going to happen. And people can look at that and have negative thoughts about it. But I'm coming to a point where I'm like, that's okay. I don't need everyone to love me. If there's so many different people out there saying different things about different, like I am here for people that are in the same boat as me, or maybe someone is about to approach the same boat that I'm in and they can learn from me. But there's podcasts for 20-something-year-olds, or there's podcasts for people that just only talk about pop culture. There's so many things for you, and I might not be for you, and that's okay. That just means we're not even on the same planet right now. No, but that's okay.
I think that is so fabulous that you say that, because do you know that, remember I said recovering people pleaser?
Yeah.
Younger version of me.
Older version of you.
Yes. I used to always think that
everyone used to love you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I wanted everyone to
of course.
Me.
I think we
and
all
my feelings
want
were
that.
so hurt, and I think my feelings were so hurt when someone didn't.
Yeah.
And I would try to figure it out. Yeah. I would try to win. So wanting that for yourself, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
That I'll be okay. That's what I want too. That I know now that I can't please everybody.
Yeah.
For sure. And I'm not for everybody.
No.
Like you said, this is about women. I feel like your show relates to women wanting more for themselves, and finding that together, that we want to lift each other up.
Yeah.
We want to support each other. And you know what? Surround yourself with those people. And if it's only one person, you're still golden.
Exactly.
It's still golden. If you just have that one quality, amazing friend, that's great. Mm-hmm. It's all you need.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine.
I agree.
And whoever that is.
And I think if you take the time to work on the inside, your inner workings, and really focus on that, you're going to attract those people. You're going to attract those same people without you even realizing it. They'll just come into your life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was actually one of the most beautiful things I learned is I had to let go of a group of people, not group, but a few people who constantly talked down to me and would, judge me for my decisions, but would always talk down to me. And I think I got to a point where I was like, I don't want to be talked down to anymore. I tried to laugh it off. That's what I would do. I would laugh, or I would be like, oh, you're funny. But I would never say anything. And eventually I was like, you know what? I don't want that for myself anymore. Mm-hmm. And I had to let them go. And then I was sad at first to let them go. Obviously the pandemic helped. But you know what I realized? It made room for really wonderful people.
Yeah.
So since then I have made, and honestly, they were already there. They were there, and we had common interests, or kids were in the same stuff, and they were there. But I honestly didn't make room for them at the time. I wasn't trying to make that effort, and I was thinking that's what it is. You know what? It's one door closes, but another one. The window might be shut, but there's a door open, or whatever it is. But whatever that word is. But that's what that was.
Yes.
I was so excited about that it made room for some really great people.
I think the moment we realize that, it's not saying that we can't be sad or upset about what is ending, because it's natural to have sad feelings, but just knowing that something amazing is going to happen in the future, because I'm making room for that. Whatever it is, it could be friendships, it could be, I don't know, purging your past. It could be anything that you're any baggage that you're dropping at the door and stepping through that door. It's it's helping me. And I'm excited for the next, I hope I live to live another 40 years, another 43 years, because if the past 43 years has taught me this much at this point, like I can take that for the next 43 years and really like do something awesome with it. And not saying that shit isn't going to happen. It's just that's what I'm trying to teach my kids, especially my oldest. It's like, shit's going to happen. It's like, how do we react to it? How do we learn to let it go? How do we cry and stay in that feeling for a little bit, but not like live in it? And it's really, really hard to do. But once you kind of quote unquote master it, I don't feel like I've mastered it yet, but I feel like I'm getting there. It's just this like, man, okay, I can do this thing called life. I really, really can. And even when shit starts hitting the fan and shit is like flying all over, I'm hoping that I can like stay grounded in this and what I've learned, because life is going to be so much easier. And I feel so bad for the people that die not even ever learning these lessons. That's so sad. And that is like the beauty of like bringing people on like you, because we're like learning from each other's experiences. And like I said, I've learned so much from the therapy that you've done. I feel like I've done therapy. There's been times, I mean, you and I haven't seen each other in a while, but there's been times where we've just sat and just talked, and you're teaching me and I'm telling you stuff that I've read, and we're just connecting. And that is like what I wanted with this podcast, is like, we're not alone in our journey. And sometimes when we're just quiet and silent and like just wallowing in our sadness, we think, oh man, we're the only person on this planet that's ever felt this way. We're the only person going through this. And when we become vulnerable and like talk about it, we realize, oh wow, we are more connected than we realize. And oh, I can learn. Okay, she went through that, so let me try to learn or pick and choose. Like, we don't have to do exactly the same thing that person did, but you can pick and choose what works for you. And that's the beauty of having people come on like you. It's just, it's awesome, because I've been talking about myself on this podcast. Well, I had Philip on here and he's awesome, but I haven't had a girlfriend on in a while. So I thank you so much, Shiney. It's been so fun.
I really appreciate it too.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's, I think the thing is also like, we both have a growth mindset. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what I was saying about me wanting only like-minded people in my life.
That's what you mean by that. Yeah. That's not that we have to be exactly the same, but yes.
Completely.
That we're all trying to grow, learn, heal.
Be vulnerable, mm-hmm. brave.
Everyday growth, everyday healing.
Yes.
Everyday warriors.
I love it.
Don't steal my motto, people. That's my motto.
I love it.
Corinne's like, you need a motto. I'm like, I do. It's everyday growth, everyday healing with everyday work. She's like, that is long and you need to shorten it up. I'm like, well, that's my motto, and I don't care how long it is. She's trying to be my manager. She says she's my manager.
Oh, that's adorable.
Which is so cute. But yeah, I don't know if you have a different shortened version of the motto. Please let me know.
Great. I think it's
But
great.
yes, it's I understand by like-minded. Growth-minded people are just my kind of people. Mm-hmm. If you have that fixed mindset where it's like, go Google the difference, which is amazing. Oh yeah. Or you're just kind of stuck. Well, this just is the way I am because my upbringing, this is, what I learned, and this is how it was made up, and there's no way to change. Like I can't be around those people. It's very hard, and you can tell the ones.
Right.
Yes.
And I agree with you. And I've learned that it's not my job to help them or fix them or teach them.
I used to feel like it was my job. Like I have to like help this person get out of their woe is me attitude. I'm like, no, that's not. If they want to have the conversation, wonderful. And I'm not like this expert, but like we can bounce thoughts off of each other. But if you're not willing to like listen or be open to even express and be vulnerable, I don't know. Vulnerability for me is like a big deal. Mm-hmm. When I see that someone's being vulnerable, I'm like, that is a genuine, authentic person right there.
Yes. And it makes people feel like relatable. Mm-hmm. It makes people feel comfortable and safe. Like, I think that it's a game changer. It is when you meet people who also can be like, let down their guard.
Yeah.
And just be themselves. It makes you want to be yourself as well. So yes. So we want friendships that we all feel like we belong.
Yes.
Like, and no judgment. Because so many times, we've all been out with someone and they're like, oh, I'm eating too much, or I'm doing this too much, or, oh, my hair looks like, and they're saying, and we've all been there where we're like, yeah, and I immediately say, you don't have to worry at all. I'm not even looking. I'm not looking at your hair. I'm not paying attention to how much you ate.
Yeah.
Please don't pay attention that I, didn't eat or anything. Like it doesn't matter. And I think it feels so peaceful.
It does.
And the quote that I heard Reese Witherspoon say, it says, other people's opinion is none of your business. And that's really how I feel. Like when I heard that quote, I was like, freedom.
Yeah.
I don't want to worry about what someone else thinks about me at all. And I used to, because that was how I was raised, is that I had to care about what other people think and what other people think I look like or I'm doing and all that. And I feel like living in that kind of life and living by that mean like, oh, if I have to do it this way or people will talk, I have to look this way. People, that feels like you're locked up in some room.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you're in a cage. Yeah.
Yeah. And I no longer want to be that way. So
no, we're free birds. Free birds. Fly away. I can't wait to find out when you're ready to share what your next venture is. I can't wait to find out what it is.
Oh, thank you.
Because I remember when I wanted to start this, I remember you were one of the first people that I told besides
I was so
Philip.
excited for you.
And you were so excited, but I was like, don't tell anybody. Because I was just very, you kind of want to keep it to yourself. Because like you said about you and your venture, like, am I qualified? Am I even able to do this? Like, are people going to listen? Or am I going to get bad reviews? Like, you think about all these things. And I'm just learning just to do. And everything that I've been reading and like successful people that have made it and like seeing and hearing what they're saying and how they, like, failure is a good thing. If we fail, we learn from it. That's amazing. And just, we don't have to be perfect. Just do it. Like, we don't have to know all of, like, if we have that passion, we don't have to be an expert at podcasting. Just freaking start. And I remember it was so hard for me to do. And I remember you being one of the people that was just so excited because I knew I could confide in you and that you could, I don't even know why it was top secret, but it's like when you have this insecurity within you, you're very, what's the word? You don't want to share it with everyone because you don't want people to poo-poo it, Yeah.
There's definitely, I would say, fear, and anxiety and all that. And I would say that I'm actually really excited. I just need to come to some definitive decisions of what I want to do because I have for sure, some clear ideas on what I want to do. And I think I feel excited because I want to be confident in what I do. And if anyone does talk negatively or gives me advice or poo-poo it, like you said, that I'll be okay. Yeah. That I'll be okay. And that I'll have the words. Yeah. So I've been learning now to that it's okay to defend myself. And if someone doesn't agree with me, sometimes even silence is a reaction, like no reaction is still a reaction. Yeah. So I've been learning that with some people, I don't have to explain it because there's no point. Yeah. They're never going to get or see it the way I do. Yeah. Because their perspective is the only way.
Well, yeah. And there was one person, right before I was going to launch the podcast was like, didn't really understand podcasts. And she was like, well, what's the point? Like, what's the point? Like, how are you going to make money from it? And like her like money and material things drive her and why, like, that's just what drives her. What motivates her is those things, is money. And she had just started a company herself and she was doing it out of her basement and she was, making, like, she was doing well because money was coming and that was like her her success meter is like, how much money is coming in. I'm like, well, I'm not doing this. I have such an awesome husband who's making a living for all of us. And I appreciate it greatly. And I thank him all the time for being such an amazing provider. I don't have to do anything for money. And it took me a long time to kind of be okay with that, because it's like, oh, well, like you said, like, we're educated and we should be helping our spouses by contributing financially. And I've had to really grow in accepting that it's okay. Because I felt for a while like I'm a gold digger or I'm mooch. I don't know what I felt. And also we were raised to my sister and I, it's like, you don't ever depend on a man. That was one thing that was instilled in us. Like, don't depend on a man, be able to just take care of yourself. I know I can take care of myself. I know that. Like, I have no doubt if something were to happen between Philip and I could survive. I know that without a doubt. But I've had to come to terms with that. I'm like, I don't have to. I remember looking at her, I'm like, I'm not doing this for the money. I have a vision and I have a feeling that just by me starting, it's going to go somewhere. I don't know how I'm going to get there or what the journey is going to look like. But for me to start has nothing to do with monetary anything. Mm-hmm. And she was just so confused, like, okay, like didn't get it, wasn't excited, didn't understand. And I'm like, that's okay. I remember leaving. I was like, okay, well, she doesn't get it, but that's okay. Like, I have so many other people that are like, oh my gosh, a podcast, I listen to podcasts, blah, blah, blah. So you are going to get those people, but you just have to be confident in what you're doing.
Yes.
And just know that there's only like a minority of voices that are saying no, or you're not going to succeed, or I don't get what you're doing. And you have all these other people that are excited for you. Those are the voices that we have to listen to.
Oh, yes.
Those are the people.
And I think I feel pretty confident about that too, that, that I do have those people now.
Yeah.
And less of the other voices that I've had for so long.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I was so used to that. So that's another reason. So just really quick to say why I always had friends like that and why I was allowed it. It was familiar. Mm-hmm. It was familiar.
You were comfortable in that arena.
It was what I knew.
Yeah.
It was what I knew. So now, me taking a leap and knowing that I am worthy of really good relationships. I've showed it in the past and I can have it now too. It feels good. So I feel great. And I really appreciate you having me on.
I'm so happy you're back. She's back, everybody, shining like the sun. I'm so happy you're back. And I hope you come back in the future and don't let it go almost, I don't even know how long it's been.
Almost like a year.
Has it been a year?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's not make a whole year go by.
Okay.
So when you're ready.
Yes.
I mean, we can talk about other things, but when you're ready, I really want to know about what you're going to be doing, because that's exciting.
Okay, that will definitely.
Because I love to cheer people on. Like, go, Shiny, go.
Thank you. I think it's exciting in so many ways because I no longer feel that I have to check in with people for their permission.
Yes. Like, what do you think about my ideas and goals? Yeah.
It's really freeing. It's really freeing, which is why I'm saying like this year is for me to build a relationship with myself. You know, I just bought tickets for myself to go to a conference by myself. I mean, I just think that, and I have gone to dinner with myself or gone to a movie, and I've done stuff like that before in the past, but really intentionally building a relationship with myself, because the one I had or have had for so long wasn't very positive and wasn't working for me. Yeah. And I feel like connecting mind, body, and soul. So I've been working on, in therapy for so long now. And kind of my weight, I've been struggling with that part. And I kept telling myself, you know what, I'll get there. And so now what I'm trying to do is just incorporate it all, like all of it matters. All of me matters. The people that love me need me in their lives. So I need to be healthy. Mm-hmm. So, I'm just a work in progress, which is what I always say.
All of us are. And
I'm not going to condemn myself for being this heavier side of me anymore, because that doesn't help. So I am accepting myself as I am, and I'm even more excited about what is going to come in the future.
Well, I've learned to dress for the body that we have. I'm just over that too. I'm over it. I still go to my boot camp and I like to be active, but I'm just going to be a thick piece. I'm a thick piece, and that's okay. We got to just like take the thick and just work with it. That's all I'm saying. We're going to take the thickness and we're going to.
And I think my version of also even of what I thought was beautiful has even changed.
Yes, me too.
As I've continued to accept myself, because I actually, for me, and I think that it's always been that way, but I just never said it like out loud to myself that it's okay. Is I actually prefer being a little thicker.
Well, I haven't always been there. I think I just got here like yesterday. No, it's just been, I've always struggled with looking in the mirror and not loving what I see, for sure.
Yeah. So.
I wonder if my reduction made a difference, like my breast reduction. Because I'm like, man, my chest doesn't look as full and heavy like it once was. I feel lighter. My bras don't hurt. Like, girl, it's been a game changer. I'm so happy.
I was saying we should totally do a podcast all on boobs.
Like, I totally can wear. Yeah, listen. Big boobs are overrated in my opinion because I've had all the sizes: A, B, C, D, double D. I think I was on the verge of a triple D. I don't know. I think one boob was a triple D and the other one was a double D. Either way, I don't know what size I am now. He didn't minimize me that much. I think I'm like a D right now. I think they get smaller. Do they keep getting smaller after surgery? It's only been a year.
Oh, I have no idea. But
I don't know either. I just feel lighter.
One day I'll be following your footsteps.
I don't feel like ripping my bra off at the end of the day like I used to. So that's a big deal.
Love that.
I don't know why we went into the boob talk, but we're talking about body. Okay, we're done.
Okay. So this was the quote that I wanted to mention earlier, but we were going to end with that. This is by David Foster Wallace. You'll stop worrying so much about when other people think of you when you realize how seldom they do. But, I think this quote's more like, stop thinking like everything is about you, number one. It's not about you. But also like thinking like that everyone has it out for you or everyone, it's not true.
It's not. Read it again.
You'll stop worrying so much about when other people think of you when you realize how seldom they do.
Thank you, Shiney. It's been fun.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye. Love you. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Virago 24/7. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And please give us 5-star ratings. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Virago 24_7 and on Facebook at Virago 24/7. And just connect with us and share your story. We'd love to hear from you.